In the ever-evolving landscape of technology and the stock market, seldom does a piece of news come along that combines high-stakes drama, tech innovation, and significant financial implications. Well, we aim to bring you the best of the best and include the most exciting news out there. This week, a wild set of revelations, interactions, and subsequent call-outs from different and unexpected parties involving Elon Musk, OpenAI, and major tech giants like Apple and Nvidia captured the market's attention. Elon Musk has put into question the legality and authenticity of OpenAI as a project, idea, and a corporate entity, especially in the midst of a legal antitrust case against them, Google, and recently, Nvidia. But the questions arising from these developments are shaking the very foundations of AI legality and business ethics as you know it. Could this be the stock story of the decade? Will this halt the AI revolution in any way as it struggles slightly to kick into next gear amidst the chaos? Well, the only way to find out. Let us dive deep into this whirlwind of chaos and just about understand the true implications. Hello everyone and welcome back to Investocracy.
OpenAI, I mean, you seem somewhat frustrated with them. You were one of the big contributors early on.
The reason I am the reason OpenAI exists.
How much money did you give them?
I'm not sure the exact number, but it's some number on the order of $50 million. Man, fate loves irony, next level. So I used to be close friends with Larry Page, and I would stay at his house, and we'd have these conversations long into the evening about AI, and I would be constantly urging him to be careful about the danger of AI, he was really not concerned about the danger of AI and was quite cavalier about it, and at the time, Google, especially after their acquisition of DeepMind, had 3/4 of the world's AI talent. They had obviously a lot of computers and a lot of money. So it was a unipolar world for AI. And we've got a unipolar world, but the person who controls that does not, or at least did not seem to be concerned about AI safety. That sounded like a real problem. So, and then the final straw was Larry calling me a speciesist for being pro-human consciousness instead of machine consciousness. And I'm like, well, yes, I guess I am. I am a speciesist.
Elon Musk, the multifaceted tech mogul renowned for his ventures with Tesla and SpaceX, is making headlines again. But this time, it's not a rocket launch or a new electric vehicle. Instead, Musk has raised significant concerns about OpenAI's transition from a non-profit to a for-profit entity, particularly after reports emerged that Apple is eyeing potential investments in OpenAI, alongside Nvidia, and in the midst of an antitrust suit. It all began when a curious Twitter user questioned the legality of OpenAI's transformation into a for-profit model. This user pointed out that with Apple and Microsoft reportedly valuing OpenAI at over $100 billion, there might be grounds to argue that early funders like Elon Musk should be entitled to a share of this colossal valuation. Musk's response was characteristically direct. Either turning a non-profit into a for-profit is legal and everyone should be doing it, or it's illegal and OpenAI is a house of cards. It doesn't get clearer than this, ladies and gentlemen. Musk is openly calling out OpenAI's profit model, throwing all kinds of shade around like no one is watching this go down publicly. And it is highlighted today once again as OpenAI stands accused of exploitative copyright infringement. And that is probably just the tip of the iceberg. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with OpenAI's or Elon Musk's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
So, so you helped to the creation of OpenAI. You put in as much as $50 million.
More than helped. It wouldn't exist without me.
It wouldn't exist without you. So,
I came up with a name. Right. The name OpenAI refers to open source. So the intent was, what's the opposite? What's the opposite of Google? Would be an open source nonprofit, because Google is closed sourced for profit, and that profit motivation can be potentially dangerous.
Should you have gotten governance for that money? Should you have gotten some level of control, perhaps, in retrospect?
Yeah, I fully admit to being a huge idiot here. Anyway, so OpenAI was like meant to be OpenAI, open as an open source. It was created as a 501c3, so part of it is also in the beginning. I thought, look, this is probably a hopeless endeavor. How could we possibly compete with? How could OpenAI possibly compete with Google DeepMind? I mean, this seemed like an ant against an elephant. You know, it's just not a contest. And I was also, I was instrumental in recruiting the key scientists and engineers, most notably Ilya Sutskever. In fact, Ilya went back and forth several times because he would say he's going to join OpenAI, then Demis would convince him not to, then I would convince him to do so, and this went back and forth several times, and ultimately he decided to join OpenAI, and really Ilya joining was the linchpin for OpenAI being ultimately successful.
This isn't Musk's first rodeo with OpenAI. Back in August, the tech billionaire reignited a legal feud, accusing the organization and its co-founders of sidestepping their original mission of benefiting humanity to pursue commercial gains. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman responded, asserting that the evolution of AI technology necessitated certain strategic decisions that, while debatable in hindsight, were crucial for the company's survival and progress. The drama doesn't just stop there, of course, because OpenAI, as we just stated a few moments ago, is currently under fire from multiple lawsuits, faces accusations from the U.S. Center for Investigative Reporting for copyright violations, which adds it to the pile of the likes of Google and currently Nvidia, who are at the forefront of the AI revolution and hindering it by being investigated for a multitude of reasons, including allegedly breaking monopoly laws. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Action? Sue them in some way?
I do think that there's some... look, it does seem weird that something can be a non-profit open source and somehow transform itself into a for-profit closed source. I mean, this would be like let's say you funded an organization to save the Amazon rainforest, and instead they became a lumber company and chopped down the forest and sold it for money. And you'd be therefore like, well, wait a second, that's the exact opposite of what I gave the money for.
Yeah.
Is that legal? That doesn't seem legal. And if it is, and in general, if it is legal to start a company as a nonprofit and then take the IP and transfer it to a for-profit that then makes tons of money, shouldn't everyone start? Shouldn't that be the default?
Right.
And then I also think it's important to understand the when push comes to shove, let's say they do create some digital superintelligence, almost godlike intelligence. Well, who's in control?
Yeah.
And what exactly is the relationship between OpenAI and Microsoft? And I do worry that Microsoft actually may be more in control than, say, the leadership team at OpenAI realizes. I mean, Microsoft, as part of the Microsoft investment, they have rights to all of the software, all of the model weights, and everything necessary to run the inference system.
So they essentially have a great deal of control.
At any point, Microsoft could cut off OpenAI.
The nonprofit organization alleges that OpenAI used its content to train AI platforms without permission or compensation. This legal skirmish underlines a broader issue that could impact how AI companies source and utilize data. Man, if AI stocks had feelings, they'd be sweating bullets right about now. Microsoft, another tech giant with fingers in the AI pie, has reportedly invested up to $13 billion in OpenAI. Meanwhile, Apple and Nvidia are rumored to be circling, potentially increasing their stakes. The implications of such investments are vast, both in technological and financial terms. These companies are betting big on the future of AI, and their confidence could steer the stock market in unpredictable directions. Adding to the controversy are other lawsuits from prominent media outlets and authors, accusing OpenAI and Microsoft of copyright breaches. Notable figures like John Grisham and George R.R. Martin have joined the fray, underscoring the gravity of the situation. While some news organizations like Time have opted to collaborate with OpenAI, offering access to their extensive archives, others remain firmly opposed, viewing the AI firm's practices as exploitative. That said, back to the video.
Ask you an interesting IP issue, which I think is actually something I can say as somebody who's in the creator business and journalistic business and whatnot, or care about copyright. So one of the things about training on data has been this idea that you're not going to train, or that these things are not being trained on people's copyrighted information. Historically, that's been the concept.
Yeah, that's a huge lie.
Say that again?
Yes, these AIs are all trained on copyrighted data, obviously.
So you think it's a lie when OpenAI says that this is not, none of these guys say they're training on copyrighted data?
Oh, that's a lie.
It's a lie,
yeah,
straight up.
It's a straight up lie.
Okay.
100%.
So then,
obviously, it's been trained on copyrighted data.
Okay, so let me ask you a second.
The stakes have never been higher for OpenAI, a company straddling the line between groundbreaking innovation and controversial business practices. As tech behemoths like Apple and Microsoft continue to pump billions into OpenAI, the stock's future appears promising, despite the legal maelstrom it currently faces. For the astute investor, this situation presents both a high-risk challenge and a potentially lucrative opportunity. Considering the current legal and market dynamics, OpenAI's stock could well be on an upward trajectory. While legal battles loom large, the company's strategic alliances and substantial investments point towards sustained future growth. This is a pivotal moment for AI stocks, and for those willing to navigate the tumultuous waters, the rewards could be substantial. What are your thoughts on this gripping saga of tech, law, and finance? Do you believe OpenAI's controversial shift will impact its stock value positively or negatively? Let's discuss in the comments below, and let's see where this saga takes us next. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like OpenAI or personalities like Elon Musk have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.